Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1721 of What You Up To Now. Documenting the journey, primarily the business journey, as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. Struggling with some of my recording technologies, so I thought I would try doing it portrait instead of landscape and see what happens with my recording. Chances are they'll all show up sideways today, but I'm okay with that. So today, we're talking about in the BU 365-day challenge, our annual challenge this year, to do one thing every day that improves us. We're talking about paradoxes. So I shared the 3 types of paradoxes, which I realize I cannot pronounce, as well as today's paradox, which is what I call the care paradox. And basically the person that compiled this list of paradoxes used this one. He says, the less you care about other people, the less you care about yourself. I, of course, take the opposite of everything, and so the more you care about other people, the more you care about yourself. I prefer that version. And the more popular version, the one I've heard pretty much my entire life, is the less you care about what other people think of you or other people's opinion of you, the happier you are. I think that's probably the more common one. I also think it's the more true one, because it doesn't matter what other people think of us. What matters is what we think of ourselves and how we show up in the world. And are we doing things that feel good and right to us as we're becoming the best possible version of ourselves? So we talked about that today. And to coincide with that, I picked an idiom, the idiom of self-care, which I found pretty interesting. It turns out that although Socrates is considered the father of self-care, self-care didn't become a thing until really the 1950s, when the medical community started to focus more on the person and the patient and the individual and their acts and practices impact on their overall, primarily physical health when we're talking about medical, but then it switched as well as to mental health. I think it's Mental Health Month. I'm not positive. I think it might be. But I think mental health is one of those things that is as important as our physical health. I think physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, and contribution, what are we here to show up and do in the world? I think those are all important. And if we don't pay at least a little attention to each and every one of those areas and aspects of our health and our being, we're not going to live as good a life as we could or create the life that we want. So talked about where that came from and how we can apply it to our business. And I contend, and I think it's not particularly a bold statement, but it is a bold statement in that as a business owner, there were times when I did not take care of myself at all. And I've since learned that self-care is critical to supersizing and growing and building a business. Self-care is critical to having a life and creating the life that you want. So, projects galore today. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.